All right, we're gonna get some big writing in today. The bigger the better. My goal was 2,000 words today. I've already written 953 of those said words. There's Nick Zan. Nick, you better pay attention today. I'm gonna get 2, 3, 5, 9 pages finished. In fact, I'm gonna go back up here. I'm gonna finish one of these chapters right now. Prove to you that I'm not lying. How are you doing, my friend? You know what? You never do, and that's what I like about you, Nick. Never a promise. You never make anyone else feel comfortable. I like that about you. Keep everybody on the edge. Is Nick going to do this? Is Nick not going to do this? We don't know. Congratulations for your Brewers there for clinching a spot. Also, your Dying Days up on the book, bub. Yes, that I think is the sixth time Dying Days box set has been up there. $9.99 and 99 cents is the sale. But today is the last day of the sale. So, I'm as edgy as Donny Osmond. You're not that edgy. Calm down. Shelly just walked in. Should take her aunt to the doctor's. So she's here to change the dog. And then she's gonna head to do some work. And then make some kind of dinner tonight. I don't remember what she was making. But dinner. When do you know the sales on Dying Days? So it's just my thing. So what happens is it goes up, and then I am just looking at my dashboard for Amazon, and then just based on that, I'll look. Here's the problem. So I put every 6 months I put this in for a book club, and for the last 3 years, every 6 months they've given it to me, which is awesome because I usually do really well with page reads through the year on this because it's 9 books. There's a lot of page reads, so I make my money there. But they give me this deal, and I'm like, all right, the 15th, I'm in. And then I go to do the sale thing in my Amazon, my KDP thing, and I notice usually what I'll do is I'll go, okay, the day before, like I'll do the 14th, then the 15th when the book club is, and then the 16th, 17th, 18th. So it'll run. So if you don't look at the book club today, you look at it tomorrow or the next day, you're still going to get the deal and you're going to buy. And then it'll just go because now the algorithm is great. And I'll do like 2,500 to 3,000 sales easily. So it's about $1,000, and it's $359 is the ad. So I make close to 3 times my money back, but it keeps that box set higher in the algorithm, and then I get a lot of page reads once it goes back to $9.99. So it's probably making like 6, 7 grand off of that initial $359. The problem is every 90 days you re-up in KDP Kindle Unlimited in order to do these deals. And while I just leave them on automatic, they automatically do that. Box is always checked. The 15th, today is the last day of the 90 days. So I was unable to do ads to do it at 99 cent past today. So I did it from the 11th to the 15th. The 11th, the 12th, the 13th, and the 14th, I got like 6 total sales from it. I got nothing. I also did not run any ads because I didn't think about it, and then I was in VoucherCon, and I'm like, well, if let's see what a BookBub ad does on its own without layering other ads in other places. So far, I'm a little worried, to be honest with you. I think I've gotten about 35 sales on it. I need 1,000, roughly 1,000, just to break even. Normally, when this hits, I get that pretty quick. It popped up on Facebook too. That's good. See, I was it from me because I put a bunch of them up there. I put them to run on Facebook, to run on my author page. It's also on. I ran them in Blue Sky and I ran them in Threads. So I ran them in my newsletter today. So I'm putting it out there, all the free ways to do it. I also did on Facebook. I did an ad for it, just like a 3-day ad. Day 1, I got nothing. Day 2, nothing. Day 3, 11, 12, 13, I got nothing. Yesterday, I think I had 2 sales on it. So I'm not getting the traction. I'm worried that people are going to look at that BookBub thing tomorrow or late tonight and see that it's $9.99. Also, I screwed up because I didn't contact Amazon UK and set it for 99 cents, which is just dumb on my part. So they took it off of that, even though I paid for $100 and something over there. So it's just annoying that I screwed that up. So I don't have high hopes. I'm going to be honest with you, Nick. I don't have high hopes for this sale. If I do this again in 6 months, I got to not try to put it in at the end of, so that would be December, January, March 15th, should end again. So like March 16th or 17th, I got to put in and hope I get one. Lesson learned. Awful lesson learned, but lesson learned. Boo has dumb UK. We should stop paying tea and stamp taxes to them. That'll show them. I don't know. I don't know if that would really gain our independence. You can try it. Again, the UK thing, completely my fault. Because I know better. I've done this a ton of times. I think I've gotten 10 or 12 BookBubs in my career. And I should know better than I got to go over there and do it. Also thought you might be pre-gaming for your primetime Raiders night. That's not prime time. It starts at 10 o'clock tonight. That's bedtime. That's I'll look at the score tomorrow morning when I wake up. I was like, Monday Night Football. Raiders used to be king of Monday Night Football. You know, when they were a good team. And I'm like, oh, that's the 10 o'clock game? No way. No, thank you. I did get to watch the Jaguars lose, which I thought was great. I also watched that Giants Cowboys game, and I'm like, man, it must really suck to be a Giants fan because they just find ways to lose. Good times. So I got today and tomorrow, and then Wednesday morning we leave for Nink for 5 days. And then I'm glad that there's nothing else coming up for a very long time. Next page, Nixon. Next page. So I've written 1,000 words today. I need to do another 1,000 words on this book, at least. Minimum. Excuse me. So I'm working on chapter 31 of 50. So I definitely want to finish this chapter, if nothing else, but a lot of other else. Tom wrote his chapter late last night, and I was going to read it and then jump into that one. I'm like, no, I got to finish at least a chapter over here. Hmm. Okay. Was over by family on Saturday and we had lasagna. I almost forgot how much I love lasagna. Right? Why don't you ever have lasagna? Why are you not allowed to have lasagna? Your imaginary girlfriend hates Italian food? She hates me? Never think about it, yeah. Obviously, meatless lasagna, I'm going to guess. With, no meat in it. That's what meatless means. Plus, store stuff has garlic. So is she like she's allergic or she just doesn't like it? Like, what's the garlic thing with her? Is she a vampire? You're dating a fucking vampire? You don't date vampires because they don't get older. You're going to get older. You're going to look like crap one day. And she's going to be like, yeah, I still look like I'm 30. So, time to get a new boyfriend who's younger. You don't even think about these things, do you? All you think about is that vampireness. She has intolerance, so she says it's an allergy. I can write it out, have her vampireness. Yeah, what's the worst that happens? You could just get old and die, right? But you're still with a hot chick. She like you're gonna be 90, and she's not gonna be like, oh yeah, this is my wife. She's also 90. No, you're gonna be like, this is my wife. She's 30, and then you're gonna look like a badass in the nursing home. And tolerance means she gets sick via both ends. Is it like if she gets a little bit of garlic, or is it like if the stuff is in the food and like how much garlic does she need? And I guess she eats stuff that she doesn't realize has garlic in it. Then I guess you can't come home smelling like garlic because then she immediately shits on the floor. I get it. My wife hates fennel seeds. Like we go to Italian restaurants and anytime they have meatballs or sausage, she's like, "Can you find out if this has fennel in it?" As we did last week on the way back from New Orleans, she asked the waitress, "Can you say if this has fennel?" Like I don't even taste the fennel, but she does. She does not like it. They had no idea. She had to go back in there, and then they had to figure out what fennel even was. But the pizza did not have fennel in any of the meats. And then they said, "We have the meats." Goes from bloat to vomit, as in there was garlic toast in a bread basket, and it rubbed off on the bread, so she rushed to get home as her body. Oh, yeah, that's not good at all. That's not good at all. I don't know if I could survive. Oh, sorry, I can't eat anything that tastes good, like garlic. You gotta be careful. You were walking the dogs and she ran off without telling me why. You were like, she finally came to her senses and left me. We had a good run. I guess it's just you and me now, dogs. You were halfway home. You were like, trying to figure out what your new Tinder account, what you're gonna write on that one, and it's like, she's like, oh no, I just had a poop. Oh, okay. I guess I'll delete this Tinder account again. Dogs didn't care unless she was the one who fed them. Then they'll care. Donnie Osmond hotness for Tinder. You know what? You can get away with that one. Of course, you're probably going to get an older woman on that one. You probably get 55 or 65-year-old women who are like, ooh, Donnie Osmond. God, I had a crush on him when I was 20. Why am I only getting older Mormons? Exactly. That's literally what you would get. I want to remind everybody, speaking of older Mormons, I want to remind everybody to subscribe or resubscribe, and also follow me on YouTube. I am 31.6% of the way to 1,000 subscribers. I don't know the math on that. No, no Skinwalker Ranch tonight because the season is over. But Alien Earth, I believe, is a new episode tonight, which I will watch. Even though it will be dark out by the time it comes in, I'll make sure the doors are locked. I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed the last couple of episodes. Not that I didn't like the first two or three or whatever it is. Just really starting to get into the characters and the story now. They're doing a good job. Hopefully, this is not like every other show that I like, and then we get one season and they're like, yeah, that cost too much to make, so gone. Oh, I have a tiny beef. Expedition new episodes aren't popping up on HBO Max. Expedition Unknown did. What the heck? Really? So did you see you didn't see the two episodes of them going to Spike Island in Ireland, or what was the other one? I think they have 4 of them out now. I know Phil was not in Ireland because his wife was having the baby, their second child. But and Josh filled in. I don't see anything of this season. That's crazy. I mean, I pay for cable, so I get them when they come out. I don't have to wait. I don't have to figure out all that bullshit. Like Frank's like, oh, I just watched a great 30 for 30 on ESPN. I'm like, yeah, that's like 5 years old. Yeah, I watch them when they come out live before anybody else sees them. Apparently. Frank watched that Charlie Sheen one, the documentary. I think he said it was exhausting. So I will wait till I get back from Ning for that. I wanted to go back to that haunted forest in Germany where nothing grows in the circle. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. Is that going to be after you find the treasure in Milwaukee? You're going to go to Germany, the haunted forest? Yep, the camera. He did get clawed. I don't know if it was Brian Weed or the other guy Stone. I don't even know if those guys are still on the cameraman anymore. I got to look at the end of an episode. I know there was the cameramen were Weed and Stone. Mm. Say bye to Nick. Nick's in.
Bye, Nick's in.
Should I say goodbye in case you didn't hear that? All right. Have a good day.
All right, I'll let you know when I'm headed home.
Do you need me to send more chapters today or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
I'm gonna go to the post office tomorrow, but I'm gonna drop this in the mailbox today at work. Alice has chew toys.
Okay. Alice has chew toys, Nick. So don't fret. And when you see young Mike, I picked up the Jacksonville kicker for my fantasy team. He's like, why would you do that? Oh, this guy, 70-yard field goal. Yeah, in preseason. Calm the F down. I'm so glad they got beat because, of course, young Mike is posting yesterday, go Jags and all this other stuff. And I was like, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. He also, excuse me, was not at lunch on Thursday. So let's go right on the kicker. Yeah, you know what? I've uh, I've done quite well over the years fantasy football by having some really good kickers. I'm not even playing this year. I didn't play last year either. I also didn't play fantasy baseball the last couple of years. I'm just like it's just too much. Just too. I mean, technically, I play fantasy baseball on my out of the park 26 game because you do the perfect team thing every day. You gotta pick your lineup and then starting pitchers, and they have all this. You only have certain play, blah blah blah. So I'm not doing well in that. I've never done well in that. I look at my ranking and I'm like, oh, I'm 5,000th. You know, that's not good. Fantasy baseball is exhausting. 7 days a good traffic. Yeah, exactly. And then you get to like today where half the teams are off. So I literally, when I go in there, I just erase, I just delete everybody. And then I'm like, okay, I get two players that are perfect 100 or better scores. And then I have three players that are 91 to 99 scores. And then I have four players that are 81 to 89 scores. And then the rest of them have to be filled out with 79 and under. So you always hit and you go, okay, who are the starting pitchers today? Okay, and then you're like, okay, who are the? But then sometimes on that they don't update it when somebody goes on the injured list. So I'll have like a reliever, and they'll be like, oh yeah, no, basically he's no longer the closer. Well, you're not going to give me any points then. So I got to find another closer, or somebody gets hurt and I don't see that. I don't remember to look at the transaction thing. And so I put a guy in, and I'm like, oh yeah, Freddie Freeman, yeah, he's gonna give me some points today. Oh yeah, Freddie Freeman's on the injured list at that point. So I would imagine a lot of the, not all, people get lucky, but I would imagine a lot of the teams, these guys are like, you know, calling Kansas City to talk to the trainer of the Royals kind of people, you know. It's a little ridiculous. I used to love fantasy baseball. I would play it all the time, but then, like you said, it just there's so much. So, like, I'm in a football pool. I've been in for like 6 or 7 years, and I'm still alive. I picked the Ravens this week, and they won. And then I have the list of everybody who's all the teams that they picked. So I like to look at it as I'm watching the red zone thing, watching all the football games, and being like, oh, you picked Pittsburgh. 5 people eliminated. Last year, I don't remember. I think it was the second game of the season. So there's about 400 people that are in this pool. You know, we each put in $20, so you can win a decent amount of money. And yeah, Ravens were they did great yesterday. And so in the second week there was I forget what team, like 180 of the 400 people picked, including me, and they lost. And it's not based on points. It's based on there's no uh, you're not getting any points. It's just a straight up game. So basically, for me, I look and I go, okay, the Ravens are giving 7.5, and that's the best spread this week, so they're gonna win. Simple as that. And it's gotten me pretty far. The one year I think I went to like week 16 or something. There was like 6 of us left, and then I lost. Because you can only pick the team once. So once you get there, you're like, I don't know any of these bad teams, which one of these could maybe win, kind of thing. But anyway, last year, like 180 people got eliminated just on one pick like that. They lost like half the people, like 200 people, in the second week. It's crazy. And that you saw last year, I was like, oh good, so I paid $10 a week to play this year. The Chiefs may have thrown a few out. So nobody this week. Nobody this week. After last week, we lost like 20 something people that picked the Chiefs. This week, nobody picked the Chiefs, but then nobody picked the Eagles. So like out of 363 people, 70 of us picked the Ravens, for instance. But like the biggest teams, like the top 5 or 6 teams that most of the people pick, 20 or more people picked, they all won. Including the friggin' Cowboys. Because if the Cowboys had lost, they would have eliminated like 25 more people. I was like, good. And then the Giants, God forbid, they just, I don't know, win. I was glad Denver lost, being a Raiders fan. It'd be a hard week if it was in Cleveland and the Bears. Exactly. That's like what it gets down to. Like you've picked 17 of 30 teams, and at that point in the season, you've already picked all the playoff teams. Like you already know who's going to be there. So you're basically like, oh, do I pick the Jaguars or do I pick the Dolphins? I mean, like, come on. And then I'll like pull up the like the odds. There's one site I go through all the time, and it basically has the odds from the best to the worst, And I'll just start going down like, all right, pick them, pick them, pick them, pick them. I'll get, you get like 15 or 16, and it's like an even pick. I don't know, either of these bad teams can win. What you need is, which never happens, is you need that team that has like that great like second half of the season, and you haven't picked them yet. I also get a lot of people that were like yesterday. A bunch of people were eliminated because we're here in Jacksonville, and they'll pick the Jaguars first or second week, and then I'm like, you just love just throwing $20 away. Because if it wasn't an elimination thing, it was just best record. I would just pick whoever the friggin' Jaguars were playing each week, and I would definitely do well. I'm just hoping the Raiders, 2-0 to start a season. They're just so unproven. Well, they have that easy schedule, and they still can't win. So. That's a good Panthers or Jaguars. I wouldn't know who to pick. Exactly. Like if that was your pick, who do you pick of these two bad teams? I would pick the Panthers, only because I don't hate the Jaguars. I hate their fans. Whereas Phillies Eagles fans are awful. They're just awful people. Jaguars fans are just dumb. And if you're a Jaguars fan and you're listening to this, dumb. I remember young Mike was like, oh, they haven't really been around long enough, like all these other teams. I'm like, they've been around for 30 years. What are you talking about? They didn't get in the league in 2022. You've had a successive generation to watch this team, and I mean, I don't know, learn something about football. Just dumb. That's all I say. Listen, I admit the Raiders are awful. You know what I'm saying? I get it. It's not a great team. They're still my team, though. I've been rooting for them since 1975. 50 years I've been rooting for this team. I got to see them win. Thought Florida was cursed until Tampa Bay won. Yeah, I mean, listen, we're in college football land down here. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get uh, you're not gonna get a big fan base for like you can literally walk up game day for Jacksonville and you can go to the box office and you can buy a ticket. Whereas if you wanted to go to Green Bay, there's like a whatever it is, 11 year, 21 year, whatever I forget it. It's at least 11 year waiting list, and that at that point you have to hope somebody dies and doesn't put it in their will to give those tickets to somebody else. Yeah, yeah. My brother was on the Jets. As awful as they are, he was on that waiting list for like 15 years. He was living in Florida at that point when they finally got to him. My buddy signed up in the '90s, still waiting. Yeah, I mean it's ridiculous. It's on one hand it's ridiculous, but you know what? It's you got 8 home games, or with the Jaguars they give one of them away because they go to London because they actually make money over there. Exact opposite. Stop watching football after graduating in early '80s. I didn't watch for a number of years because of all the political BS that was going on. I'm like, I want to watch sports to get away from the politics of the day. I don't I don't want to see all of the flags. I don't want to see all the kneeling. I don't want to see all of the interviews with players and all they're talking about is what's happening in the world. You're a dumb jock. Fucking hit each other on the field and shut up. So I stopped watching it for about 5 years. And then about 2 years ago, my wife started having to go to her mom's every Sunday. And so then I was like, well, I don't know, maybe I'll watch football. So then I started watching football again. But I watch like the red zone thing, so I watch every game plays as they're unfolding because the Raiders are never on TV. And usually, then the problem is by the time baseball season is over, the Raiders have already eliminated themselves from playoff competition. So I'm just like, whatever. Like last year, I didn't even watch the Super Bowl. I'm like, I have absolutely no interest in either of these teams. As a Raiders fan, I hate Denver, I hate the Chargers, and I especially hate the Chiefs, and I always have. Because those are the three teams in the same division. I don't like those teams. Raiders are on tonight. Yeah, I'm not staying up till 1 o'clock in the morning to watch a game. I lived the RO Friday Night Lights. What I experienced, saw, and learned was enough to walk away from it forever. You know, you're probably better off. You probably have gotten a lot more shit done in your life. Like I'll go back and forth. I have the TV on with the sound on in the living room so I can hear it. But I'm in here writing or whatever yesterday. Yesterday I did like over 3,500 words in writing, and I did a bunch of other promotional stuff. So again, and also coming from New Jersey, there's not really we didn't watch college football. There's nothing for us to get excited about. Rutgers, I don't think so. So I don't really watch college. On Saturdays, I don't watch college football at all. Chuck loves Rutgers, and that's why he's a NASCAR fan. Yeah. Well, Chuck technically went to Rutgers. Not technically. I think he. I don't know. I don't know if he graduated or not. I know he got drunk a lot. How's the new book progressing? I am at almost 40,000 of 63,000 words. I'm working on chapter 31 of 50. So good, but not great. I leave Wednesday morning for the NINC conference in Tampa, Wednesday through Sunday. So I lose 5 days of writing. So when I get back, it gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days to finish this book, which is not a lot of time. So I'll have to do like 2 chapters a day kind of thing. Are you filming at the conference? No, no filming. NINC is a small conference. There's no book selling, but like Amazon comes in, ACX comes in, Book Vault comes. Like there's like 40 different vendors that come in for the business side of it. A lot of romance authors, and everybody there is published and has made at least $5,000 per book on 2 books in the last year. So you have to have at least, obviously, 2 books out that you've made decent money on. And a lot of those romance authors have made literally millions of dollars in the last year. But they do not film anything because there's a lot of proprietary information that they give us. So they don't want anybody to post it online and whatnot. And they're basically like, don't film. Basically, don't be filming anything while you're walking around the conference. I'm still going to do my coffee videos in the morning, but I'll have to go off to the side or something and do them. Because basically, it's good because you can ask the Amazon ad people, do you people know what you're doing? And they basically like, no, we're just kind of throwing it up against the wall. I mean, that's basically their attitude. Now we're trying something different, and sometimes it doesn't work. Usually doesn't work. I'm definitely gonna get this next page, and I gotta. Can write fan fiction without a thought, but writing on the actual books is a chore. Fun times, yeah. Somebody just got nailed for writing fan fiction again, Walking Dead fan fiction, and then putting it up on Amazon to sell it. And we're like, yeah, nope, you're gonna get sued for that. And then once Amazon got a couple complaints, they quickly took it down because you can write all the fan fiction you want, you just can't make any money off of it legally. Never write anything for profit with anyone's IP in it. Exactly, unless you got permission, and then write to your heart's desire. Heart's desire. All right, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. Just hang out. It's that time again. Hope that stops when I'm at Ink. I heard a speaker once shoot someone down when they said they wrote fan fiction. It wasn't the Twilight positive. It's simple. Don't do it. Write your own thing. I've never written fan fiction. I don't see the. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't see the point in it. But if that's your thing, that's your thing. I'm not gonna kill you about it. It was just nature. No, I'm not doing the mushroom now because I got to go to Nink, and I don't want that in my system. After Nink, I will. I got a lot of new books on my shelf. I have 2 anthologies. An anthology and a magazine I was recently in with short stories. So, day before yesterday, my K-cup side of my coffee maker decided I'm just going to rip through all of the K-cups and let them shoot and spill all over the counter and on the floor. And I was like, all right, let me just clean this real quick. I cleaned it, did it again. Then it did it again. I'm like, you know what? That's enough. I told my wife, she bought me a new coffee maker. So yesterday and today I just made half a pot of coffee both days. But I'm like, well, I better put this coffee pot together because I don't want my nephew or her nephew's coming to stay to hang out with the cats. And I don't want him to try to make coffee and it to go everywhere. So I'm going to put the new fancy one. Again, it's a double. Makes a pot of coffee or it has the Keurig. I think it is actually a Keurig this time. We didn't buy the same model as last time. Good part is there's like a water thing in the back. You just fill it for both and you hit the button. So I'm going to play with that this afternoon. See what happens. Why are you yelling? The person argued with the speaker and they kept getting annoyed. I think they were doing Harry Potter fiction. Yeah, I mean, and I don't know what's the point of that. I guess if you love it so much. You're a writer, author. Love of the art should not be shot down whether it is monetized or done for enjoyment. Writing, right, writing is writing. If you're getting something out of it, then that's on you. I'm not going to shit on somebody because they're like, like so many people are like, oh, you know, 50 Shades of Grey is awful. I'm sure it is. I would never read it. I'm also not going to talk shit about it. Same with Colleen Hoover. People don't like her writing. Okay. But there are people who do like her writing because she sold a shit ton of books. Leave her alone. There's 3 or 4 people in this world that don't like my writing, which is insane. But still. Someday I'm going to find those people, though. But I mean, until then. Coffee done. Yeah, I don't, well, that's everything else. Everybody's got to be just negative jerks. Nick. Yeah, I got to get this page done. Maybe not now, but. About to release my Dying Days spin-off box set, Dying Days of Thunder. You know what? Instead of being mad or trying to sue you, I want to read that. I went to type asked and it came up naked. Dying days of our lives. You know what? It'd be like a Walking Dead ripoff. It'd be a soap opera with zombies. I think Frank, Frank would run with this like crazy. Frank would give you 57 different things. Now, just so you know, Nicholas, if that is your name, I will not be here Wednesday or Friday. This will be my last day on Twitch this week until next Monday. Tomorrow, there's a big chance that I will be on YouTube Live at 1 p.m. I did it yesterday. Only Tom was on with me, but it held. It held for almost an hour, which is great. Didn't cut off or I didn't lose anything, so I'm confident that I can do that again tomorrow. And people are saying that they actually got the notice for it, so I need a lot of words written today, and I need a lot of words written tomorrow before I leave. Wednesday morning, Amanda comes over at 9:30, and we're gonna get some writing in until about noon or about 11, and then the three of us are gonna leave and head to Tampa for the NINC conference. She's coming with us, so there you go. So Amanda goes too. Makes sense with her romance stuff. Yep. She this year she got to $5,000 or more on at least two of her books, and this is her first time. So I think she'll get a lot out of this. She'll also get imposter syndrome when she's talking to romance authors who are not only making six figures, but they're making seven figures. I go and hang out with all the tropical authors, most of them making six figures. I'll be there someday. I mean, or I won't. You know, it's one of those three options. All right, I'm going to take a break because I've actually been sitting in this chair since about 9:30 this morning, except to go take a poop to get a cup of coffee. So thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it, and I will see you next Monday, unless you see me on YouTube Live. Next page, Nick's in. Next page, you know I'm going to do it. Just getting ahead of yourself. So I will 90% chance I'll be on YouTube Live tomorrow afternoon. I have nothing on my schedule, not a thing. Tomorrow is Step Family Day. Remember, get your Step Family cards if you celebrate the holiday. All right, everybody. I will see you when I see you.